Jersey. Mystery booms. Residents and police in one community want to know.
A mysterious noise stunned New Jersey residents last week. Tonight, we're hearing what it sounded like.
Maybe if we just went a bit further up.
The emergence of mysterious sounds worldwide is shocking the public, from terrifying howls to echoes resembling ancient trumpet blasts. These phenomena not only surprise people but also spark speculation from researchers, believers, and mystics alike. Particularly from a Christian perspective, these occurrences are not merely natural events, but could carry symbolic significance for supernatural and divine events foretold in the Bible. In Christianity, the appearance of strange sounds from the sky often serves as a reminder of warnings or signs from the angels, heralding the arrival of God. These trumpet-like sounds, as described in the book of Revelation, could be reminders of the Judgment Day or the prophesied apocalypse that believers have been forewarned about. Angels are often depicted as messengers bringing divine messages, and the sound of their trumpets symbolizes the beginning of a new era. In Revelation 8 verse 6, 7 angels stand before the throne of God with trumpets in hand. When they blow their trumpets, calamities befall humanity, signaling the end of an era and the dawn of a new epoch. The mysterious sounds near the Euphrates River, a symbolic river in the Bible, cannot be overlooked. Frequently mentioned in the book of Revelation, the Euphrates River is believed to be the location where 4 fallen angels are bound, waiting for the appointed time to be released. Revelation 9 verses 14 to 15 states, "Release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates." And the 4 angels who had been kept ready for this very hour, day, month, and year were released till 1/3 of mankind. The drying up of the Euphrates River in recent years, coupled with strange noises reverberating from its depths, could be seen as a sign that this prophecy is about to unfold. For those of faith, this is not merely a random event, but a reminder of the impending cataclysm. Moreover, many believe that the resounding noises heard in various parts of the world, such as Texas, Oklahoma, and Canada, could be related to the trumpets of God, mentioned in 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 16, "For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel." And with the trumpet call of God, this verse confirms that when God returns, his trumpet will be heard globally, not just in a specific region. The trumpet-like sounds recently reported in San Francisco have led many to associate them with the trumpets of God, which many believers see as a harbinger of the return of the Savior. According to the Christian perspective, these strange sounds are not merely ominous signs but carry symbolic messages, reminding humanity of the presence of supernatural forces. Events such as trumpet sounds, moans from the ground, or eerie howls from the sky might signify that the boundary between the physical and spiritual worlds is blurring, signaling the intervention of divine forces. These sounds could serve as a warning for humanity to return to a moral path, live by the teachings of the Bible, and spiritually prepare for what is to come. Additionally, the recent phenomenon of the Euphrates River drying up is not just an environmental issue, but also closely tied to the prophecy in the book of Revelation. The question arises, if the 4 angels bound at this river are released, are we prepared to face the consequences? This is a warning, reminding humanity that, according to the Bible, at the appointed time, the beings confined in the abyss will be set free. This urges us to reflect on the meaning of the events happening around us, especially when they seem to align so closely with ancient scriptures. While science may offer various explanations for these sounds, such as the movement of tectonic plates, atmospheric phenomena, or even the impact of radio waves in space, for those with faith, each mysterious sound carries a deeper message. The appearance of these sounds in the context of the Euphrates River drying up evokes thoughts of the end times when the foretold events will begin to manifest more clearly. The book of Revelation and other passages from the Bible, such as Genesis, present a complex and mysterious picture of the emergence of supernatural beings and apocalyptic events. The prophecies and descriptions of extraordinary creatures like the Nephilim or terrifying beasts are not merely symbolic but can reflect historical events that have occurred or will occur, like a cyclical pattern of chaos and divine judgment. In Revelation 9:1-3, the appearance of locust-like creatures from the abyss, wielding power like that of scorpions, serves as a dire warning of what will unfold during the end times. The fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss, and out of the smoke, locusts came down on the earth and were given power like that of the scorpions of the earth. This event not only signals the rise of supernatural entities, but also highlights the abyss as a possible gateway to another dimension. This aligns with metaphysical concepts in the Bible, suggesting the presence of malevolent forces sealed away, awaiting the right moment to unleash chaos on earth. Additionally, the book of Genesis also depicts the existence of the Nephilim before the great flood, beings described as hybrids between fallen angels and humans, representing an anomaly in creation. The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Genesis 6:2. The Nephilim were not only giants in physical stature but also embodiments of chaos and violence, corrupting humanity and the natural order. Their reappearance in the story of Goliath facing David, 1 Samuel 17, subtly suggests that these beings continued to exist even after the flood, or at the very least, their spirits remained intertwined with the human world. Theologically speaking, when Jesus refers to as it was in the days of Noah in Matthew 24:37, it is a challenging omen as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. This comparison implies that the end times will not only reflect the moral degradation and depravity of humanity, but also the resurgence of extraordinary beings like the Nephilim and fallen angels, ushering in a period of unprecedented chaos and turmoil. More significantly, the signs of the re-emergence of these supernatural beings are not confined to the story of the Nephilim alone. Revelation describes a series of beasts, including the seven-headed, 10-horned beast, and the red dragon symbolizing Satan. These symbols portray the relentless conflict between the forces of light and darkness. This is emphasized in Revelation 12:7-9, which describes the battle between the archangel Michael and the great dragon, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. The appearance of such entities in the Bible not only represents a manifestation of an evil force beyond human comprehension, but also serves as a warning to those who believe in the absolute truth of the Scriptures. The continuous fulfillment of biblical prophecies throughout history raises the question of whether these beings truly existed. Many theologians argue that the Nephilim and similar creatures may not just be products of ancient imagination, but could have existed in another form, such as a species or race that modern science has yet to validate. Similarly, the event in Revelation describing a star falling from the sky could be interpreted as an astronomical phenomenon or a supernatural occurrence, like the opening of portals to other dimensions. The correlation between the prophesied events and the natural phenomena observed today cannot be ignored. As Luke 21:26 warns, people will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. We have witnessed changes in climate, widespread pandemics, and wars erupting across the globe. For those who believe in the fulfillment of these prophecies, this is not merely a series of random events, but a clear sign of an impending end. From the perspective of those who believe in the existence and reality of extraordinary beings, the Bible is not merely a collection of mythical stories, but a prophecy of what is to come. Beings like the Nephilim and the beasts in Revelation symbolize the rise of supernatural forces, and with it, the final judgment will descend upon the world. Those who remain vigilant and trust in the scriptures will recognize the deep connection between past events and present signs, thus preparing themselves for the end times foretold in the book of Revelation. Based on the Bible and related ancient texts, the concept of the last days and the existence of beings such as the Nephilim are not merely mythological tales but carry profound meanings about the nature of humanity and the world we live in. For those who study the Bible, the presence of giants, the fall of empires, and the signs of the end times are integral to understanding the conclusion of human history. In both the Old and New Testaments, the last days are not only symbolic, but also prophetic warnings for humanity about the return of Jesus Christ and the final judgment. The Nephilim, the giants mentioned in Genesis 6 verse 4, were described as the offspring of the fallen angels and human women, existing both before and after Noah's great flood. In the book of Enoch, a text not included in the canonical Bible but significant in Jewish religious studies, the Nephilim are portrayed with abilities and powers far beyond humans, and their presence led to widespread violence and moral corruption across the earth. This corruption was a major reason for God's decision to destroy the world through the flood, sparing only Noah and his family, who were deemed righteous in his sight. From the perspective of a biblical scholar, the Nephilim are not merely ancient lore but serve as an omen for the last days Jesus himself warned. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man, Matthew 24, verse 37. If the presence of the Nephilim was a harbinger of extreme wickedness before the flood, then the similar conditions today, violence, conflict, and moral depravity, are strong evidence that humanity is once again on the brink of divine judgment. From the Old Testament to the New Testament, the Bible repeatedly refers to the return of the Messiah and the end times, when he will judge all of humanity. One of the most significant texts is the book of Revelation, which describes events that will unfold in the last days. Jesus will confront the beast and the false prophet, two powerful figures who will rule the world through deceptive miracles and immense power. Revelation 13 verse 13. This is not merely symbolic storytelling but a prophecy about a period of crisis when evil forces will appear to prevail, only to be ultimately defeated by God's authority. The skepticism of those who do not believe in the Bible often centers around the realism of these prophecies. They argue that the world will continue as it always has, with no final judgment or return of Jesus. However, this was prophesied long ago in 2 Peter 3 verses 3 to 4. In the last days, scoffers will come, saying, "Where is the promise of his coming? For ever since our ancestors died, everything continues as it has since the beginning of creation." This shows that even humanity's skepticism and mockery are additional signs of the last days as predicted by the Bible. The question remains, how do we know we are living in the last days? The answer lies in the signs described in the Bible. In Matthew 24, Jesus provided a list of signs, wars, famines, earthquakes. All these are the beginning of birth pains, Matthew 24 verses 7 to 8. The book of Daniel also speaks of a time when knowledge shall increase and people shall run to and fro, Daniel 12 verse 4, which we can witness today in the era of globalization and rapid technological advancement. Another evidence lies in the book of Revelation, which speaks of the emergence of a global government led by the beast. The consolidation of power into a single authority in the future is something modern analysts are increasingly warning about, as international organizations gain more influence over national decisions. This further strengthens the belief that the last days predicted by the Bible are not just a distant concept but are gradually becoming a reality. Those who reject the idea of the last days often cite that humanity has gone through countless crises without facing any ultimate destruction. They argue that figures like the Nephilim are merely mythical, and that the Bible is not a reliable historical document. However, for Bible scholars, this is not only a mistaken view but also part of the prophecy itself. Skepticism was foreseen as a clear indicator of the nearing judgment, as humanity drifts further from faith in God and relies solely on its own understanding. The Old Testament recounts periods when the people of Israel abandoned God and turned to idols, and they paid dearly through the downfall of kingdoms like Samaria and Judah. Similarly, in Matthew 24, verse 12, Jesus warned, because of the increase of wickedness, the love of many will grow cold. This describes the condition of society today, where moral decay, lack of compassion, and rising violence are becoming more prevalent. Overall, from both historical and theological perspectives, the last days are not a fictional concept but a warning that has been prophesied in the Bible for thousands of years. The existence of the Nephilim, the concentration of power into a single authority, and humanity's skepticism are all signs that we are living in apocalyptic times.